Okay, just a quick update here. I'm using the voice recorder here at Big Mo Stone Circles. It's just after midnight. I've met up with John Fagan. We're doing a pre-Geminid Meteor watch. The peak's actually on Sunday night into Monday morning. So there's another one, John. Faint one by magnitude 5. That's 13. Is that correct?
Aye.
13. The peak's actually on Sunday night, but we're out 2 nights before. And to tell you the truth, we weren't really expecting to see much. But it's always worth a gamble, and it's just cleared after midnight and we come out and we can't believe it. We've actually observed 13 Geminids within 15 minutes or so, which is actually quite astonishing. Very, very good rates. We have about 7. Another one, John spotted another one. 14. Quite impressed by this. They seem quite active. We're seeing a lot to the northwest and north. To be honest, most of them are faint in the magnitude 5 to 3 range. There's another one. This is unbelievable. This is actually really active. Right into the pause of Ursa Major. 14. So what I'm doing is I'm just recording using my mobile phone here, and we're going to react naturally to what we're seeing. We're going to try to describe what we're seeing and just sort of take you along for the observing session with us. So here we go. It's probably about 20 past midnight now on Friday night, and we've got 15 Geminids already within about 20 minutes. Would you say, John?
15 to 20 minutes.
15 to 20 minutes. The naked eye limit here of the sky is about 6 magnitude overhead, even quite well down, 30 degrees above the horizon. We're seeing about 5th magnitude. Very good sky, some patchy cloud, otherwise good, very dark. Radiant is a good 20, 40, 60, 80. Well, it must be about 90 degrees high, the radiant, so it's very well placed in Castor and Pollux. So here we go, we're going to react live. For anyone who doesn't know where the radiant of the Geminid Meteor shower is, look at Orion's belt. That's a very distinctive constellation. Everyone knows Orion. You see the 3 stars in that diagonal line. Go up to the upper left of that and there's a bright star called Betelgeuse or Betelgeuse. Going away to the upper left of that, extend your hand about 1, 2, 3, 4 fist widths to the left, and you'll see 2 stars, one above the other, of equal brightness. Those are called Castor and Pollux and Gemini, the twins. So the meteor shower seems to radiate from Gemini, and hence that's why it's called the Geminid Meteor shower. But interestingly, most meteor showers come from comets. This meteor shower comes from an asteroid, which is quite peculiar. There's a possibility the asteroid may be an extinct comet nucleus. The good thing with the Geminids is they're usually slower in speed compared to the Perseids, so there's a better chance of getting them on camera because there's more light on the per pixel on your sensor compared to the faster moving meters, and they can be quite bright. They're notorious for fireballs and minor outbursts, and of course this time of year the radiant is well placed all night long, so you can observe from the evening right through the night into the dawn if you want. For me personally speaking, this has always been my favourite meteor shower of the year. The Geminids every year is the one we look forward to most of all. The Perseids are beautiful too because they're summertime meteor shower. Nice mild balmy nights. The only disadvantage is the nights are short in August. So even though it's good, you're only getting a small treat, whereas the Geminids are an all-nighter. Tonight the temperature's about 5 or 6 degrees, John, I think, on the way down there. So it's not overly cool. It's cool when you're standing out here, but it's...
A bit of breeze, chill.
Yeah, a bit of a chill there, alright. We've got a cloud approaching from the west now. It may cover the sky up for us here for a while, but at the minute we're still clear overhead. There's another one. See that one?
Yeah, seen it.
Yeah, that was in Cairns Venatici, the hunting dogs. Probably about magnitude 4. fairly bright.
That was
Not,
fairly bright.
wasn't it?
That one, yeah.
It's quite low down too, so the extinction would have subdued it a bit. So probably about 4. So that's 16. 16 geminids. I'm just going to stop that recording and start a new one, John.
No problem.
Another one. Although interesting, that was not a geminid. I'm not counting that. Yeah.
I think the northern sector has produced more.
It actually is, isn't it? Now?
Yeah, the east and the west. Northeast and northwest.
Yeah, this is the kind of astronomy I love.
There's now one, Mark.
Oh, missed it.
Now one.
Whereabouts?
I had that one. I was judged at as 5, Mag 5.
Like 5. So that's 17. That's a very good count.
Same area too. In that last one.
It seems to be that area Leo hunting dogs and Ursa Major starting to
Yeah.
attract them, isn't it? Yeah, it's a beautiful sky, alright. Absolutely gorgeous. You can see the Milky Way arching up from the northwest here in Cygnus, all the way into Lacerta, Cepheus, Cassiopeia, overhead through Perseus and down through Auriga, Gemini, and we're losing it where Canis Minor and Canis Major merge due to high level cloud there. You can see M31 in the naked eye, and M44 the Beehive cluster. The sky is definitely very nice, and M35 in Gemini. And of course Mars is like a beacon in the west, shining through cloud. Another one.
Yeah.
5th magnitude, right beside the radiant. That's 18.
Starting to lose a lot of sky here, Mark.
Yeah, see that high level cloud approach in the west? I hope it passes through because this is really good going. The sky's really talking tonight. What's your favourite meteor shower, John?
Hey. I really did like the Perseus because it's warmer.
Hard to beat the warmer nights when you're observing.
No doubt about it. But to be honest, I've never really given the Geminids full time, like, you know.
You're pretty fond of the Taurids as well, aren't
Taurids
you?
as well, yeah. Fireballs.
Fireballs. If anyone doesn't know, Taurids are a brilliant meteor shower, not because of their rates. They're actually only a few an hour at best. Rates are terrible.
Right they are in speed, isn't it? Speed?
Aye, moderate speed.
Yeah.
They're exceptionally bright. They're notorious for fireballs, and of course they're connected with Comet Encke. And if you know your astronomy and if you're interested in the threat to Earth from impacts, you may have heard about the Tunguska event in 1908, when an object entered the Earth's atmosphere and detonated in an airburst event and flattened the massive rainforest in Tunguska in Russia. That turned out to be a fragment of a comet. It was actually 2P Encke's comet, which is the source comet of the Taurid meteor shower, and a very dangerous meteor shower. It's actually known as the Taurid meteoroid complex, and if you're very interested in it and its threat to Earth, check out the work by Dr. David Asher from Armagh Observatory. Very interesting stuff. If you go out any October or early November night, you may see a Taurid. They're usually quite orange in colour and quite bright, and yes, they can produce smoke trails, as can any fireball, of course, which is why we want to observe all the major meteor showers of the year. I know you feel like just encouraging the sky to produce, talking to it sometimes. Right, see if we can push 20 before the cloud comes in.
Yeah.
So we're on 18.
Looks like a nice shower too, Mark.
Yeah, it could be alright. With a bit of luck, it'll clear free just like the last one. We have about, what, 50% clear sky now, if even that. Clouds pushing in from the west again. But we're still observing any stars we see, just in case any gaps. If my voice sounds muffled, it's because I have my buff around my mouth and nose here to keep warm. Of course, that used to wearing masks, now it actually feels normal, doesn't it? Leo the Lion rising in the east here with bright star Regulus. That's the source constellation of the Geminid Meteor shower in November. Yeah, this is definitely one of the most fun and easy type of astronomical observing to do, John, isn't it? Isn't it something everyone should really get into?
Yeah, so easy.
You don't need a telescope. You don't even have to use a camera if you don't have
Do it
one.
from your backyard.
You can. You do it from your backyard. Or if you want to get a really dark sky, drive out into the countryside somewhere and just pull in somewhere, get out and watch, get dark adapted, take the family out, spend a pleasant hour or two under the stars and just see what you can see.
So easy.
Some of the finest stuff is the naked eye anyway. Right, I feel spits of rain in my face now.
Yeah.
That cloud's coming in. We're still at 18.
Lose me. Just overhead now, Mark.
Overhead and southeast.
Retreat back into the van.
Yeah, well, turn the heaters on and warm up, because it actually is quite cold. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, join you for round 3. Okay, it's now 12:40. The shower is past. We're back out again. We've just seen 2 more Geminids literally as we got out of the vehicles. So that brings the count to 20.
Yeah.
The sky is in top condition, so I've just got a call from Paul Martin there. He's coming up from Oma as well. Even though he's working in the morning, he's not encouraged by our report of what we're seeing. He's going to come up for a while, give it a chance. He'll be with us soon. So the sky is superb. We're going back to visual observations here now. We haven't even took the cameras out at all. We're just enjoying it naked eye.
Oh, sure, coming.
Another one. The sky is really good at the minute.
It is lovely, isn't it, Mark?
Wow. It's only a matter of time before we get a real decent bright one. There's an,
banging out like
oh, it sure is. It's just seen our meteor there, but it wasn't a Geminid. Yeah, I'm lucky it was really clear. It's important for anyone new to this, if you're doing an actual watch for a major meteor shower, you will see other meteors not connected with that shower, so it's very important to not count those. Or else you have a fake count. You want an accurate count.
Them ones usually go towards the radiant.
Yeah, they'll go towards the radiant. But if, for example, the Geminid radiant comes from above Castor and Pollux, which is very distinctive area with the naked eye. If you see a meteor across the sky, backtrack it in your mind to where it came from, and if it comes from that area near Castor, then it's a Geminid. If it comes from a different region of the sky, it's a non-Geminid meteor, or from another shower, or a sporadic. There's always minor showers in the background rates during these meteor showers, but we were only counting Geminids only. Passing car here at the minute. Hopefully we've got no intruders. Good thing about tonight is it is a Friday night. Shockingly, there's nobody else out here. There's another one, Geminid, passing through Perseus below Algol by magnitude 4, 21. So we have the whole place to ourselves at the moment, which is really nice. And you may have heard about the aurora activity a couple of days ago. John was talking about it earlier in his vlog. I wasn't recording at that time, but we had our first Earth-directed CME of the new solar cycle, and it generated quite a bit of hype. Noah were going for G2, possibly G3 storming, and everybody was quite frantic because the weather in Northern Ireland, of course, was cloudy, and we're worried about missing a good show. But as it turned out, it was a damp squib. It was barely even G1, if even that would have, John.
I wouldn't say it though.
Not even G1.
Active conditions.
Just normal active conditions. It didn't have the impact speed we wanted for a proper hit. But that being said, we're not disappointed. We didn't miss anything. But the fact that we're getting CMEs, we're getting these large sunspots and solar flares already so quick into the start of the new solar cycle is very encouraging. It's quite exciting actually, and I think it won't be long before we score with something pretty major. I'm fairly confident we'll be seeing our first respectable aurora in the near future. So in the meantime, we're actually doing solar observing. We're observing these sunspots. They're producing these flares now via our telescopes. We're using the projection method, our solar filters, and we're going to watch that increase of activity on the sun over the next 5 years as a solar maximum approaches. But back to meteor showers. Of course, the goal of any meteor shower is to see as many meteors from that shower as you can and enjoy yourself doing it. But the ultimate goal is to witness a good fireball, and that's what keeps us out every time. A fireball, for anyone who doesn't know, is any meteor brighter than planet Venus at its best. And planet Venus is around magnitude minus 4.5 to even nearly minus 5 on occasion. So if you see a fireball as bright as planet Venus or brighter, it's classified as a meteor as bright as that is classified as a fireball. But fireballs can range in magnitude dramatically from that borderline region of Venus right up to objects as bright as the full moon, and occasionally even as bright as the sun, seen in broad daylight. And if you follow me on Facebook, you'll see I posted an article by John McConnell, who wrote for NIAS recently, and he talks in that article about what was in the Bovidi fireball. That was a very famous event, probably one of the most famous fireball events in Ireland in recent history. He actually witnessed that walking, and I think he said he was shopping with his parents or visiting relatives, and he walked in the back door. He was the last one in the door, and just as he was about to put his foot on the step, he watched this blazing object shoot across the daytime sky. The daytime sky is phenomenal, with bits falling off it. That was the famous Bovidi fireball, and it actually dropped a meteorite, a selection of meteorites across the country, and I think it burnt up off the northwest coast over Donegal. But not many people witnessed the actual fireball, but they heard the sonic boom, and the meteorites were recovered, which is pretty exciting. And I think John may have a fragment of that in his collection. But that's the thing with fireballs, you never know what you're going to see. Sometimes on a real dark night, they'll cast shadows on the ground. They actually illuminate you like car headlights. They're that bright. Those are the ones to see. They can leave long ionization trains in the atmosphere. You can see them glowing among the stars, or sometimes smoke trails from the exceptional events. Those are quite remarkable to watch. And it's not uncommon to hear audio sounds from fireballs. It's rare, but it can happen. I've heard it before. And then to hear a rumble of thunder from a fireball. There's an hour meteor for Ursa Minor. Geminid 21, John, or 22?
22.
22, thanks for clarifying that. Another one, actually, just within the, entering the cloud low in the northwest, near Deneb. That's a Geminid 2, that's 23. So we're getting a good count here, which is excellent. Now we're starting to get a bit desensitized to it, John, aren't we? So we're looking at the big stuff now.
We're looking at the big stuff.
So we want, yeah, we want to be seeing meteors in the magnitude 1 or 0 range or more, and preferably a fireball now, since we're scoring pretty well tonight.
Where's that fireball?
Where is it? The warm us up. Could do a fireball. Yeah, it feels good to be out in the Geminids again. It has been many years since I've been out watching Geminids. It always seems to be cloudy in recent times, doesn't it?
Yeah, cloudy or in the moon.
And that's the worst thing, that you get nothing worse than you get a clear night and it's full moon.
The last 5 years it's been affected by cloud and moon.
Well, that's an interesting point John brought up, because if we had a bright moon tonight, we probably wouldn't have seen many of those meteors we witnessed.
Yeah.
They've been washed out by the moonlight, so we get a far smaller count.
I don't think we'd have seen any of them, to be
Probably not, yeah. It does pay to have good transparent skies and to be in a dark location. Of course, the darker the sky you have, the more fainter meteors you'll see and the higher your count will be. But if you live in a village or a small town with a bit of light pollution, don't be discouraged. Do watch, because not all meteors are faint. Some of them are bright, as we just discussed, and you might get lucky and see a fireball.
And like polluted towns, mainly overhead's the best.
Yeah. I can't recall the speed of the Geminid meteors, but I'm guessing it must.
Don't ask me.
I can't mind. It's from an asteroid, so it has to be a shorter, or sorry, it has to be a slower velocity than a comet.
Yeah.
Then a long period comet would be in a retrograde orbit. So I'm guessing somewhere along the lines of 20, 30 kilometers per second, maybe more. I'll check when I go back. I'm just curious to know. Anytime I see a meteor from a meteor shower, I always imagine, what if it was the parent object, you know, like Comet Swift-Tuttle coming through the atmosphere at that speed?
Mm-hmm.
You know, visualising the impact it would have on the Earth.
Oh,
You know?
now you're talking.
Yeah, extinction. It's pretty amazing to visualise that size of an object.
Yeah.
You know, I always think of something the size of a grain of sand can generate a bright meteor skipping across the atmosphere, catches your eye. Imagine what something 10 kilometres in diameter would do.
Oh, man. It's unthinkable, really, like, isn't it?
It is. And some of those long period comets associated with their meteor showers, like Swift-Tuttle, Perseids, they do move in the order of 60 to 70 kilometres per second. So imagine something like that, 10 kilometres in diameter, impacting the Earth. It definitely would be an extinction event. It would be catastrophic, which has happened before.
No doubt it'll happen again.
It will.
Yeah.
Guaranteed, 100%.
Guaranteed.
And will we have the technology to do anything about it when it happens? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe. But can they get it up quick enough?
That's the question.
Well, nowadays they're discovering.
Will we see it in time?
That's the thing. That's the big question to save mankind. They're finding objects now 2, even 3 years in advance. Some of the long period comets, which is quite amazing. So you get maybe 2 or 3 years advance notice if you're lucky to come up with a plan, to build the technology, get the politics going, get these, you know, some kind of plan sent up. But look at Comet Neo.
There was a recent one there, sure. Was there not? They didn't find it in a couple of months, was it?
It was an asteroid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Some of the smaller asteroids,
Are harder, yeah.
near Earth objects, of course, are very dangerous. In fact, it's the smaller ones are more dangerous than the big ones because, for that reason, because they can't be seen as easy.
Very hard to see.
But look at Comet Neowise. I was thinking about that last night. That object was discovered 3 months before it became a bright naked eye comet close to the sun.
Yeah.
And that was 5 kilometres in diameter, nucleus. It's like, imagine that was actually heading towards Earth. We'd only have 3 months.
Yeah.
That's the reality of it. Like, it actually is quite amazing when you think about it. Like, 3 months.
3 months.
That's no time.
Yeah, no time at all.
And that wouldn't be a good thing hitting 5 kilometres in diameter. And that was a fast mover too. I think they worked it out. It was moving 50 or 60 kilometres per second.
Yeah.
So it'd be 60 times the speed of a bullet. Quite amazing, actually. What's the count, John?
23 more.
23. Cheers. I'm really glad it came out now.
Oh my.
For a while I was almost going to call it off, you know, I was tempted.
Yeah. Because it was late or something.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. You can't see these things with your feet up against the fire, can you?
No. Not the kind of fireballs we want to be seeing, the sparks coming out of the fireplace. It would be cosy, but it wouldn't be the show we wanted.
That's for sure.
For safety reasons, I watched the Netflix fire. Do you ever watch the Netflix fire? Did you ever see that?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Papa, I love that. Oh, we put that on a lot, so we do.
There's no warm feeling like it, is there?
It's pure psychology of it. You
It
actually,
is
do you ever
psychology.
feel a bit of heat in your forehead and you put it on?
Yeah.
You think you're getting warm. Brilliant stuff. We have it on all the time in the background, and then sometimes the one where the logs start to darken and you hear the sparks and all,
Yeah.
and there's a bit of one of the logs falls out at one point, or a coal. That's like the big exciting part after an hour and a half. You're like, Jesus, look, the thing fell out of it.
I'm not on that long to find out.
Then my dad comes in and he goes, put some coal in that fire, would you? And I rewind it back to the start. Press play, there she goes. Oh, I love that, I love that. Oh, I heard about the Netflix fire. You can get them YouTube too, can't you?
You can get on YouTube, I think, yeah.
You can get ones with Michael Bublé singing and all in the background. Christmas ones,
Right.
and Carol singing, and quite cool actually,
Uh-huh.
or warm. Oh, just a brief overview now. The sky is still fairly clear, maybe 60-70%. Some patchy cloud coming and going, but the sky is reasonably good. Stars to be magnitude 5, and in the really transparent sections I see magnitude 6 at the moment. Orion looks beautiful. Sirius has cloud passing over, but it's shining through the cloud. Sirius is, of course, the brightest star in the sky, also known as the dog star in the constellation of Canis Major, the great dog. Trivia question for anyone who's asked what's the brightest star in the sky: it's Sirius, the dog star, or Sirius, whatever you want to pronounce it, or Alpha Canis Majoris. And if you look to the upper left of Sirius, there's another bright star slightly fainter. That's called Procyon in the constellation of Canis Minor, the lesser dog. So you have the great dog and the lesser dog, and you have Sirius and you have Procyon. The time is 0100. We just seen a fireball. Couldn't believe it. John and I were chatting away there. I wasn't recording. We just seen a fireball coming down through. Well, this mobile phone is blinding me here.
Below the Pleiades, Martin?
Low, way below the Pleiades, yes, and right over a tree here, Begmore. It actually went into the cloud deck and lit the cloud up from within. It was like a diamond white colour, and I would say just around magnitude -5, maybe a bit more actually, because it was in the cloud. But yeah, that was our first technical fireball of the night, so we're actually at the count of 30 already.
30, yeah.
Wow, that was a good one. That's the night broken in now.
There's now one, Martin, 31.
31. We're actually amazed at this count tonight. You think it was peak night, but we're actually 2 nights before maximum night. This is what astonishes me. And we've got 32 Geminids, and we've got a fireball. Now that fireball we've seen is just on the basic level of fireballs. That's just what we talked about earlier. It's the Venus. It was exciting to see, but we're borderline. But we're after the bigger stuff. I want to see ionization trains. I want to see smoke trails and long tails, or trails, what are they called? Remember the smoke trail we seen during the Leonids in Loch Fay, John?
Eh?
I mean the smoke trail we seen
Oh, that was
during
awesome.
the Leonids.
That was awesome. That ended up confirmed brighter than the full moon.
That's right, it was brighter than the full
Yeah.
moon. And it was in Orion or just below it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just below Orion, I think, in Lepus.
Just below her. I've still got the photos of it.
Same here, I think that trail lasted about 20 minutes or
20
something
minutes.
with a naked eye.
Yeah, naked eye, 20 minutes.
That's the thing.
Awesome.
That's the kind of stuff we want to be seeing. And if you do see a fireball, make sure to look at the area where it vanished, and you may see a glowing trail in the sky, a glowing ionization trail or smoke trail.
I think it was Armagh Planetarium that confirmed that was
Oh,
brighter than the full moon.
They got it on their camera.
Yeah.
See, Armagh have a meteor patrol camera, meteor station up there, and they do record fireballs and even rare sprites and atmospheric phenomena over the years. So yeah, sometimes they can actually confirm what we see visually, which is nice. And you can actually triangulate the positions from 2 or 3 different observers and actually work out the height of the fireball in the atmosphere. I remember seeing one years ago, John. I was out on my own one night during the Leonids. I was in this field outside Mahara, and this beautiful fireball came down. I would say, yeah, I was around the brightness of the moon, and I left this pure, vivid blue ion train in the sky, and it was about 40 degrees long. It was like the tail of Comet Hyakutake.
Yeah.
And it just sat there like this big blue exclamation mark among the stars. Oh, and I'd only my bridge camera, Fuji, back then. It wasn't even sensitive enough to really pick it up very well. But visually, I was just blown away by it. Oh.
Was that the picture Connor shared?
No, that was a different one. That was the Leonids. That was a different Leonids.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually even better, to be honest.
Yeah.
That was a good one. That was confirmed by our man Robert near Patrol Station as well in Northern Ireland. I think he's County Down, and he detected it, picked it up as well, and it was actually brighter than the full moon, and it left a partial. It was like the smoke trail was like orange and blue and purple.
Yeah.
And it was twisting in the upper atmospheric ones. You actually see it change in shape, and it was visible for a good 20 minutes with the naked eye as well. It was brilliant. And Connor had I think it was a 350D or 300D back then.
Right.
One of the first cannons, and he just put on a long lens, a 300 to 300 or something. I think it was just a run-of-the-mill cheap lens, wasn't even a fast astro lens. Nora one, John, see Nora one there? And he picked it up, 32. He picked it up, got them great images. I was actually impressed how quickly he zoomed in and actually focused the lens before it disappeared. He got about 4 or 5 really good exposures, and they were all over space weather the next day. And the meteor scientists were actually using them for research. It was incredible. And that was about 5 o'clock in the morning or something. Yeah, we just seen our Geminid there to the south, away to the left of Sirius. So the count is 32, John. And that you said there, wasn't it?
32, yeah.
32. It's always good to have another person with you, I think, because during the heat of the moment, you can forget the count. So it's good to swap it back and forth and keep it sharp. Right, I'll stop this for a second. Far off it. The time is 1:37 a.m. Good. I had a hot bowl of soup there before I come out.
I'm working at 8 o'clock.
Wow. That was dedicated.
No big deal, it's only up in the yard. I'll probably give it an hour and then head on. I got about half an hour.
Sleep?
Aye. Wee bit. Just nodded off for half an hour. I got a good solid. 3 years, 3.5. I find it hard by the sleep. I find it well hard to get
Aye.
up. Yeah. I wanted to just lie on, sleep. Lie on.
Seen one, but it wasn't a Geminid.
See 10 fireballs.
Okay, the time is 1:38 a.m. We're back out again. Great clear skies. Paul Martin has arrived on the scene now, so there's 3 of us observing the sky, and we picked up several more. What's the count again? 40? 41 Geminids. And we've seen another fairly bright one there going through the cloud near Mars. It was actually superior in brightness to Mars, so probably about magnitude -3, just below the fireball criteria. The sky is still very good. 70-80% clear sky, stars overhead down to magnitude 5.5 about. Dark sky, no moon, so all good. Yeah, really enjoying this tonight. Natural. Right, okay, it's just after 2 AM. We've now got 54 Geminids observed. The sky is actually completely clear now, superb quality. Paul's just after witnessing 2 Geminids side by side in the same quadrant of sky. And we also had the binoculars out, the 25-70s. We're observing some of the messy objects. M31, M42, the double cluster in Perseus, and M81 and M82, and M31. Another one, faint one, Gemini, at magnitude 5. So 55. I'll turn my back to you, John, and I'll cover this area.
I'll do.
You cover that area. That's what I mean, corners to do. Yeah, really good quality sky. The Milky Way is actually visible from horizon to horizon at the minute. Very good transparency. Very still, quiet. Beautiful night. Yeah, another one, but that wasn't a Geminid. That was a sporadic. Not counted. Oh yes, see that one? Oh, it's just overhead there, below Capella. Quite bright too.
Whoa, whoa!
Whoa! Just got the end of it!
See ya!
Oh!
Missed it.
Draco, the head of Draco.
That was a slow one.
I seen that. I just caught the end of it, John. Do you see the whole thing?
Yeah, seen the whole thing.
How bright do you reckon?
Hey! Mars,
Mars.
I would say.
So we're talking -2-ish.
Yeah.
So that was nice. Yeah. What's the count? So I seen one before you seen that one. So
There was an orange meteor too.
was it?
Yeah,
Oh, brilliant, brilliant.
56.
My gosh, 56. Let's get this count going even higher now. We're starting to get a bit of an increase in brighter ones now.
Yeah. Actually, towards morning we'll get some good news.
I'm after the daylight fireball, half an hour after sunrise.
You're not asking for much.
The sonic boom, the birds flying off the tree branches. The smell of ozone in the air. Which has happened before.
Very faint one there.
Brilliant, John, well spotted.
57.
Wow, 57. We're starting to really climb up the rates here now.
Yeah. I think we're going to have 100.
So do I. And we have the benefit of the 3 people here now too.
Is the moon rising tall, no?
Good question actually.
Found a wee sliver rising something.
Not enough to interfere observing
I
anyway.
think it's a slither out. Yeah. All round the new moon stage.
We recall seeing brilliant auroras in the past in the solar maximum, and they were only from M-class flares.
Yeah.
And we've had X-class ones that didn't produce much.
Aye.
I think it just comes down to the speed. I think every CME is different.
Yeah.
You know, how fast they erupt and how dense they are. That's what I think anyway.
Yeah.
If you're a fast CME coming from an M-class, it's going to hit the magnetic field pretty hard.
Yeah.
I think that one there was just slow. I mean, you even said just the start, John, if you noticed the charts, it was only like 600 kilometers a second.
Yes.
It's just like a solar wind stream.
Yeah.
So, and that turned out to be the case.
Yeah.
Just wasn't enough hit.
Why pick it up then? That's what I don't understand.
I don't know either.